Hi there, it's Katrin from 3Ps. Welcome to the gym. Today we are doing a workout which is a 15-minute shape-up weights workout. I've designed two programs you can add to your current cardio program. So just adding 15 minutes of weights to the end of your cardio 3 to 4 times a week. And the aim and the outcome of this program will be that you, within a month, will look better and you will feel better. In particular, you will look less wobbly and more taut. And if you do a lot of endurance sport, you will get more shape in your body as a result of adding some weights to your routine. Now, here at 3Ps, we are believers in weights. We believe that everyone should do weights, irrespective of your age, your sex, and your athletic ability. And why would you do that? Because it increases your metabolic rate, so it helps you to maintain your weight and manage your weight. It also makes you feel really great. If you are a runner or a cyclist, for example, you're doing endurance exercise, you are in a catabolic state, you are breaking your body down. That doesn't always make you feel terribly well. If you lift weights, you put yourself into an anabolic state, which is when you are building your body up. You will feel far more healthy if you include an anabolic exercise, so a building exercise as part of your overall exercise program. So I would encourage you to think about weights as a necessary part of any overall exercise program. I was thinking about how I could persuade you maybe to try some weights, and I thought if I made a really rapid 15-minute program you could add to the end of either your run or an exercise class at the gym, some yoga at the gym, or add it as something you could do at home, then you might well try me out and be converted to weights. So this is what this program is about. It's one of two, and as I said, they're 15-minute rapid weights routines. I've designed them and I've written the program so that you can get them on our website. If you go onto our website, which is at 3pspublishing.com /15-minute-shape-up. So that's 3pspublishing.com /15-minute-shape-up. You'll find two workouts there, this one and one other. This workout uses dumbbells and a bench, or you could use dumbbells and a chair, or you can even use a couple of cans of beans and a chair. You don't need any really sophisticated equipment, so it's designed so you can do it at home or in the gym. The other shape-up routine I've done involves using a bar, a very short bar with some weights on. So that one, maybe you can do it if you've got some bar at home, or you can do it at the gym. But that workout you can still also do with dumbbells if you want to. So take your choice, look at both workouts, see which one really takes your fancy. But as I always say, just get started, try and use some weights, see how you feel. Give it a month. I promise you that you will feel better and you will look better, and particularly you will lose some of the wobble that particularly you may have around, for example, your tricep area, you may have around your chest and shoulder area. It will firm you up without making you look like Hulk. You're not going to look like Hulk from this routine. You're just going to look in really good shape. So this is the time to do it for summer. Try this for a month. Let me know how it goes. You can leave comments below this video. You can also reach me at hello@3pspublishing.com, or you can leave comments on our Facebook page, which is Facebook /3Ps Media. So let's get on with the routine. I've got here the written program. This is what you can download from our website. It gives you all the exercises, so you don't have to worry about trying to memorize the routine. It's all written down for you. It starts with some sort of health check information which you need to go through, particularly as this routine uses a lift movement that takes weights above your head. If you have high blood pressure, hypertension, you need to take medical advice before you do any sort of exercise which lifts weights above your head, because it raises your blood pressure. If you're pregnant or might be pregnant, again, just get a checkup. If you've got any sort of outstanding injuries, again, just get some guidance from a medical practitioner before you start. But if overall you're healthy, you're doing some workout already, but maybe you're not adding weights, this is a great introductory routine. It's a whole body routine. It's not intended to be an extreme routine where you're going to injure. It's intended to be a routine where you shape up. That's why it's called a shape up. So let's get going. We're going to start with a dumbbell, what we call a superset. The whole of this routine is designed in 3 supersets. So that's 3 pairs of exercises, 6 exercises in all. You've got 15 minutes, so you're going to have to move it. So you're looking to do each pair of exercises in 5 minutes, 3 sets. So you've got roughly a minute per pair of exercises. You've got a 30 second to 45 second rest, then another minute, 30 to 45 second rest, then another minute, then you move on to the next pair of exercises. It's all in the routine, don't worry, it's all written down here for you. But this video is the demo to show you how to do the exercises, give you some technical points. Why would you bother to watch the video? Because if you get the exercises right, you will build muscle. If you get them wrong, you won't get the results you want. So it's worth just having a look at what my recommendations are about how you do the exercises, then print out the program from the website, and then you can get going. So the first exercises we're going to do a one-arm dumbbell snatch, and we're going to do a dumbbell step up onto a bench or a step. So minimal equipment. I'm just going to grab my dumbbells now. I'll start with the one-arm snatch. As I always do, I will demonstrate it silently first, then I'll add some explanation, and then I'll do the second exercise the same, demonstrate it silently first, then add some explanation. So let's get going. Okay, so let's talk about the technical points of that exercise. That is one-armed snatch, where you're taking a dumbbell and you're swinging it above your head under control. Now, first thing to bear in mind is you're going to stand with your feet hip distance apart. Your toes are going to face forward. As you bend, your knees are going over the toes. This is not a ballet move where you're doing a plie. It is a straightforward movement, this movement, where you're swinging the weight up. Second thing to bear in mind is your back is nice and tall. Your chest stays up. You don't want to see a hunch or an arch. Nice tall back. You're going to bend at the knees and pivot at the hips in this movement. With the weight in your hand, you're going to bring the weight up to your shoulder. You're going to let it pause at the top and bring it back down. I want to see 12 on each side. That is your one-arm snatch. It's a fantastic exercise. It uses your glutes, so your bum, your hamstrings, back of your thighs, your quads. It also uses your back and your shoulders and your core. It's a brilliant whole body movement, okay? The second movement we're going to do is a step up. You can use a chair if it's not too high. I'm using a normal step platform you would see you might have one at home, or you'll have something like this at the gym. Anything which has got a relatively moderate step. You can even use the bottom step of some stairs if you wanted to. All you're doing is a very simple movement, is stepping up and stepping down, alternating legs. Let me demonstrate silently, and then I'll come back and talk about technical points. So, I've demonstrated there 4 variations of the step up. The most basic one, back nice and tall, chest up, looking straight ahead, feet facing forward. You literally just step up onto the step or the raised area, whatever you're using, and step back down. 1 foot at a time, leading with the same foot, and you would do 12 on each side. That is your entry level move. You're keeping your dumbbells still. All the dumbbells are doing is adding a bit of extra weight to increase the intensity, okay? That's the first step, the introductory form of this. The next one is to actually lift your knees. As you come up, the front knee steps up to step, the behind knee lifts up and brings lift. And you alternate your legs, lift, lift. This is your intermediate version of this. Just again, just adds a bit more intensity. If that isn't intense enough, you can add a hop. All the hop does is put a bit more effort into the exercise. Again, you're keeping your dumbbells nice and still by your side, okay? In terms of your weight of your dumbbells, for the snatch, you're going to be using between 5 and 10 kilos. You don't want to go too heavy because you're flinging your weight around and you want to do it under control, and you're putting a lot of stress on the joint in your shoulder. So 5 to 10 kilos is all you really need. For the step up, you can go heavier if you want to because you're not actually moving the dumbbells around. So as a woman, maybe you want to start with a 5 kilo weight in each hand. For a man, you might start with a 15 kilo weight in each hand. With all these exercises, as I always say with weights, when you're doing in the 12 to 15 rep range, you need to be struggling by the time you get to the 10th repetition. If you're not struggling, it's not heavy enough. Or in terms of where I've given you a variation on the exercise, try the harder variation. So in those step routines, I've given you 3 different variations. So by rep 10, you should be struggling. If you're not, either go to a more complicated version of the exercise I've demonstrated, slow the exercise down, which also increases intensity, or increase your weight. Okay. The aim of all is to keep challenging yourself because that's how you grow. Okay, you grow by challenging yourself. So that's your first set of twin exercises, your first superset. Okay, and again, I said you need to move it to get through this routine in 15 minutes, but it is doable. Okay, so let me just consult the program in terms of the next set of exercises. Okay, so we're going to do a dumbbell squat, and we're then going to do an incline press up. So again, I will first of all demonstrate without speaking, then I'll give you technical points on dumbbell squat, then the same with the press up. Let's come back a bit, sorry, hang on, is that right? Make sure you can see me. Here we go. It's lovely sunset here in London, so as the lights are starting to go, it's a really beautiful day. Right, you ready? Okay, so, as with most of these standing exercises, you start with your feet hip distance apart, toes perfectly forward. Don't want to see a splay movement or this sort of movement. The reason that your toes are facing forward is because when you bend, you want your knees to go over your toes. The reason you're doing that is to exercise your knees and your hips and your ankles evenly. I had a great friend who was a WWE wrestler, and when the new wrestlers do a huge amount of training, and he'd been in the States, and he'd been taught to do squats in a splay position. And the result of doing that was he created imbalances in these. I have no idea why his trainers had thought that was a good idea. We had to do a lot of work together to straighten him up, because the problem with doing any sort of exercise where you do this is that you create heavier strength on one side than the other, and the result is that when you do anything that it does involve straight knees, you can injure. I had some problems with a hamstring on one side from doing deadlifting, and I had to go and see a specialist physio who was fantastic, and he had me doing for the next 3 months lots and lots of exercises which involved making sure that my knees were straight, which was all to try and prevent any more imbalances in my legs so that I wouldn't injure. So I do loads and loads of this type of exercise. So for you, in terms of the squat, the first thing is to get your feet facing straight forward. You keep your chest up, nice tall back, eyes facing forward, not down, not up. And you literally are going to just keep your dumbbells by your side, and you're going to bend down and you're going to lift up. You're going to bend down and you're going to lift up your shoe from the side. You're going to bend down and you're going to lift up. As you come to the top, squeeze your glutes and just very slightly over straighten and squeeze for the intensity in your glutes. This will give you that much more of a workout in this exercise. So you're going to come down, you're going to stretch up, come down, stretch up. That is all there is to exercise. This routine deliberately is a simple routine that you can master quickly and you can get results. In terms of the weights you're using, if you are a relatively fit woman, you could do that with a 5 to 10 kilo weight in each hand. Relatively fit man, 10 to 15 kilo weight in each hand. As you get fitter, just increase the weight. You get a fantastic exercise, fantastic stretch and pump on your front thighs with that exercise. So I think it's a really excellent exercise. The next exercise, which is part of this superset, is an incline press up. Now, there are 2 major exercises you do for your chest if you're doing weight training. One is a press up, which is an exercise using your own body weight to get the intensity, and the other is a bench press, where you lie down on the bench and use a bar or use dumbbells. The thing with the bench press is you're lying on your back and you restrict the movement in your shoulder blades, and that affects the movement you can get in your chest. and it's not the best exercise for developing your chest muscles. The best exercise is actually a press up, where you're in this position because you've got your shoulder blades are free. So when I'm training anyone on chest, I will always make sure, even if they want to do bench presses, a lot of guys really love to do bench press with a bar. It's the classic macho posture, is to get them to do press ups as well, because you'll get better development. Now, why would you want to have better development in your chest? Particularly if you're a woman, so why would you bother? You know, you've got breasts, why would you want to develop underneath? It's because the development you're looking for, particularly as a woman, is the upper chest here. What you're looking to get is, from the collarbone, is a curve, which is where the pectoral muscle sits plump underneath the skin. As you get older, or if you do a lot of endurance sport, you often can get quite thin here. It's not, in my view, a very good look. And if you want to look healthy and young, you want to keep this plump. And the way you keep this plump, this is the classic age-defying exercise, is any sort of chest press or press up, because that will develop this in a fantastic way. So that's why I say to my female clients, it's really important that they develop here. For men, again, it's just I think one of the most attractive parts of a male body, if they're trained, if they're worked out. You know, it's what all the superheroes and the action heroes look like. They have a collarbone, and then they have a curve as they come out of the collarbone, which is created by having obviously developed pectoral muscles. So that's why for men and women it's really important to do. So I'll demonstrate once without speaking, and then I'll talk about technicals. Right, okay, I gave you 3 versions there of a press up. The first version I showed you was the intermediate, second version was the beginners, and the last version was the advanced. They all operate on the same basic principle, which is that you need to adopt a plank position. I'll show you the wrong position to do any sort of press up in. This is the wrong position because your shoulders need to be above your wrists. So this is wrong, this is right, okay? This is also wrong because my bottom is in the air. You want to be like a plank of wood. The correct posture is here. You have a straight line between your feet and your head, and as you do a press up, you do this movement, okay? What you don't do is any sort of bending or arching movement. Literally, you keep yourself rigid like a plank of wood, and you let your arms do the work, okay? So that's really important. The next really important thing about press ups is that having got your shoulders over your wrists, when you bend, you keep your elbows in. Now why you do that is to protect your shoulders. So when you're doing a press up, you don't do that, elbows in, this movement. But anyone watching this who does a lot of yoga, if you do any sort of flow yoga, any yoga using the sannyasin, the sun salutations, there is a press up movement in that. And again, a good yoga teacher will tell you to keep your elbows in to protect your shoulders. Okay, also if you have your elbows in, you're using your triceps, so you get a fantastic workout on your triceps. One of the key areas I think you want to look really fit and well is to have a good tautness on the back of your arm. Press-ups absolutely will give you that. So they're a fantastic exercise. You're getting yourself nice toned arms, which most people want for the summer, either because you're going to wear sleeveless or swimwear or a short sleeve. So that's your second superset. Your second superset is a squat with dumbbells, which will work the lower part of your body and your core, and then it's a press up in the 3 versions. So a normal press up, or on your knees for the learner version, or with a clap if you want to add a bit of intensity in the advanced version. Though that exercise obviously works your chest, particularly in your triceps. So you're working again most parts of your body in that second superset. So now let's get to the third superset before the light goes. Right, the third superset is a dumbbell kickback and then a dumbbell bicep curl. So this is an arms superset. So I've given you 2 supersets which are whole body. So your whole body will have been worked, and now we're going to do a specific superset for your arms. Why would you want to do that? Well, as I said, having good, taut, well worked out arms is a classic, the way you want to look for summer. because it makes you look fit and well, and you can be relaxed and proud of, you know, wearing summer clothing if you've got good arms, okay? For a woman, particularly if you look at, you know, who do we admire? Someone like Michelle Obama has great arms, and I think most of us would say we'd love to have Michelle Obama's arms, or that type of, you know, fit look. You are not going to get that shape from doing a lot of cardio. You might get that shape from doing body pump, which is a aerobic type of routine involving weights, but you will definitely get it if you lift weights and use this routine 3 to 4 times a week. So this last superset, and I've done the same in the other 15-minute shape up, which I'll on the other video in this series, I've done a superset specifically for arms. So we've got a tricep kickback, which will work this muscle here, and we've got a classic biceps curl to work your bicep. So again, I'll demonstrate silently first, and then I'll explain what I'm doing. Okay, I can really feel that working. That's an isolation exercise for your triceps. So, first of all, let's talk about posture. Nice tall back, soft knees, feet facing forward. You're going to pivot at the hips about 30 degrees to here, okay? Not here, and you're not standing up. You pivot to about 30 degrees. Your arms normally will be hanging by your sides. For this exercise, you're going to move the upper part of your arm back very slightly. So you pivot 30 degrees, move your upper arm back slightly, then freeze the upper part of your arm. The only thing that's going to be moving is the lower part of your arm with the dumbbell. The dumbbell is gripped, so the face of the dumbbell is facing forward. You literally just lift and squeeze at the top. Bring them down, lift and squeeze at the top. Technical point is that you want to bring the weight as far down as possible and then bring it up and squeeze. It's not a small movement, it's a full bend, stretch, bend, stretch. Now, you're doing that because what you're trying to do is to pump blood through this muscle. This is what would help it develop. So you squeeze it, bend, squeeze it. When you're bringing the dumbbell down, please don't swing it. Bring it down under control, because the interesting thing with weights is if you want to develop your muscles, it is the eccentric movement, which is the stretch movement, that causes the tiny tears in the muscle, which leads to the muscle development. It is not the contraction, the concentric part of the lift, that creates the muscle damage, that creates the muscle development. It's the eccentric. A lot of people don't realise that, which means that when you're doing the stretch, you need to do it deliberately under control, and then bring the weight up and squeeze at the top. So you bring it under control, squeeze. Keep your core tight to protect your back. Because this, again, is technically a quite simple exercise, but it feels fab. You can absolutely feel, you will get what they call a pump. You'll get a pump in your triceps from doing this exercise, because you can feel it working. So that's what's called a tricep kickback, and then we're going to finish with a classic dumbbell curl. Okay, I'll demonstrate first silently, and then I will explain technique. Okay, so just talk about dumbbell curls. As I said, it's an isolation exercise like the tricep kickback. It works the bicep here, and works particularly this form of it works the peak in the bicep, so the shape here. So for guys where you want to get a nice curve here on your bicep, this is the classic dumbbell curl. Now, in terms of how you do the exercise, you stand with your feet hip distance apart. Soft knees, don't lock your knees, nice and relaxed, nice tall back, chin up, chest up. You grip the dumbbell so that your palms are facing forward, and you literally just curl them up. Now, there is a tendency when you're doing bicep curls to just come to sort of here. That's not a whole exercise. You need to get your arms down as far as you can. But there's also a tendency you can injure here if you're not warm enough or just you have a tendency to injure, what you need to do when you're doing this curl is actually listen to what your body's telling you. So as you're bringing the dumbbell down, just see if it'll let you take the dumbbell all the way to a full stretch. But listen to your body. If it starts to feel sore on this side, don't take it as low. But this sort of movement is not a full dumbbell curl. You need to try and get your dumbbell down to a complete extension in your bicep. Why would you bother? Because again, it's about pumping the blood through the muscle. It's about creating those tiny tears in the muscle which will develop the bicep. And that is done on the eccentric, not the concentric. As you become more advanced, you can do what are called negatives, which is where you have someone help you bring the dumbbell up and then you bring it down on your own, and then someone helps you bring the dumbbell up. But that's for another routine, a more advanced routine. For this routine, just concentrate on making sure that you bring the dumbbells down as far as you can. Okay? So that's your last superset in this routine, which is the number one workout. If you go onto the website, you can print this workout out. 15 minutes, 4 times a week. Each of these exercises, 12 repetitions. You do them in sets of 3. If you have yourself set up in terms of your work area before you start, you can do this in 15 minutes. So that you have no reason not to add this to your routine. If you want to look toned and well and healthy, add this routine to your cardio. I promise you, people will be saying to you, you look fantastic, what have you been doing? And you can be saying to them, I've just added 15 minutes of weights to my current cardio routine. I do it 3 to 4 times a week. Job done. You will feel amazing. You will look great for summer. It's been such a pleasure. I appreciate how busy you are. It's a privilege to have time with you. Please like this video. If you don't, obviously do that, but hopefully you like that. Please subscribe. There are loads of videos on here about fitness, about weight loss in particular, because we have a nutritionist who has written some weight loss books for us. It's also about resilience. There are some other routines that are whole body workouts on here. So again, have a look at the videos. If you want to look at the other form of this 15-minute shape up, it's called the same as this video. So this video is called 15-minute, I think the 15-minute shape up. The other one's called 15-minute shape up workout 2, I think. Print off the notes from the website. I think on one side or other I'm going to put a link here, and it'll be in the notes below how you get that, but it's www.3ps.publishing.com/15-minute-shape up. I'm Katrin Turner. I'm the personal trainer for 3Ps. It's been a pleasure and a privilege, and I hope you'll join me soon. Bye.